This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, all, good morning. Welcome back. Yeah, today we are going to discuss about Kubernetes networking lab. Also, we can cover RBAC. Okay. First, we cover RBAC, which is very important concept. Role-based access control. Okay. So here, this is very important concept. We can go through this first. So this is completely theoretical part. Okay. After that, we'll work on networking lab. Okay. Fine. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you resolved that issue, right? Suresh, I think, right? Suresh. That issue is resolved?
Yeah, for
yesterday
me, yes, I reconfigured everything.
Reconfigure, right? Yeah. Others, the pod issue, some issue you told yesterday, right? So others also, it's working fine, right? Without any errors.
No, sir. I have two other errors.
Okay. What are the
I'll
errors?
tell you the crash
Can you
loop
post in the
back
group?
off. Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, today you can post in the group so that I'll check it out and we'll see that. What the issue? We'll check. Okay. Kubernetes RBAC, role-based access control. Yeah. So in Kubernetes, normally roles will be assigned to the team. Okay. So what are the roles available? What are the types of roles available? How the roles will be assigned? Okay, we'll try to understand. Fine. So here we have different roles. First one is a single role, just role. First one is a role. Second one is a cluster role. Third one is role binding. Fourth one is cluster role binding. Cluster role binding, right? So we have four types of roles available here. First one is role. Okay, role means, so normally a one role, for example, yeah, one developer is there. Okay. Developer. Okay, developer will have one role. So one role will be assigned to developer. Okay, which is the developer role, which will be assigned to the developer. He will perform the activities as per his role. Okay. So this is the role. So this is the single role. Okay. Developers will work on development role. So this is a dev role. He will work on development role. This is single role. Okay. Next one is cluster role. This is important. Cluster role is important. Okay. Second one is cluster role, which is, yeah. So this is cluster role. This is a main role. Cluster role is a main role. You can say main role, right? So here we'll have different stages, different, basically in real time, what we will do. Yeah, cluster role means it is a Kubernetes admin. It is related to DevOps engineers. Okay, so Kubernetes admin, cluster admin role. So normally, when we join into the project, if you are maintaining cluster, so you'll get cluster admin role. Cluster admin role, full permissions will be available to the cluster admin. Right. So here, what will happen? So this cluster admin will maintain different clusters, like this is a namespace one. NS2, namespace 2, NS3, right? So in NS, different teams will be attached to the clusters, which are like NS testing, NS namespace testing, okay, and also here NS dev, here NS prod. Different activities will be performed on the cluster. Normally, different teams will involve. They will perform different activities. Okay, so we will attach to cluster. So whatever the teams available here, so we'll attach to cluster. Okay, in that, so developers, testers, and build and release engineers, different teams will work on this cluster. We'll control the, as a DevOps engineer, will control cluster. Okay, we fully take the control of the cluster and will have full permissions, will maintain the cluster. Okay, next one is role binding. That is also very important. Role binding, cluster role binding, both are important. Role binding, role binding means normally in real time how we perform this, how the roles will be assigned. We'll try to understand. For example, we have 3 users. Like this, we have 3 users. User A, three users. Right. So these users will have some roles. Okay. So here, like this, some roles will be assigned. Yeah. So this is a role binding. Basically, this is role binding. Role binding. Yeah. Fine. So here NS role, NS1 role. This is NS role 1. NS1 role. This is NS2 role. NS3 role. right? So user A assigned NS role 1. User A role binding happened to this NS1. This role is binded to user A, right? User B NS role binded. User C NS3 role, right? So different roles are available to the different users. But in real time, while working on the activities in the projects, okay, so one user can have multiple roles, right? So role binding normally, so they will, for example, this user A is handling NS1 role, user B is handling NS2, right? This user B can handle NS1 also, okay? So if the person is senior developer or senior tester, they will get more roles, like they will get 2 roles binded. Like for example, user B is a senior developer, okay? So normally how we assign the roles? So user B is having only NS2 role, but we can bind the role like NS1 role also we can bind to user B, and user C we can bind NS2 role also. User A we can bind NS2 role, right? User B we can bind NS3 role also. Like this, different roles we can assign to one developer, one tester. We can assign multiple roles as per the requirement, as per the approvals. Okay, so multiple roles can handle by single user. Okay, so this role binding normally enterprise level will have one command. So when we execute that command, it will be automatically assigned to the users. Okay, next one is cluster role binding. How to bind the cluster role? Okay, cluster role binding means basically this is for DevOps engineers. So for example, this is me, for example. So yeah, I am handling some clusters. That is why I'm putting my name. Okay. So cluster role binding, how it would be, we'll try to understand. As a DevOps engineer, how can we handle clusters? So this is cluster role binding. So in cluster role binding, so initially when I started my career, okay, when I started working on the Kubernetes initially, okay, so by the time only one cluster I used to handle, so which is APAC cluster, APAC region, okay. So this is APAC region. So when I started my career, when I started working on the Kubernetes, I used to work on only APAC cluster. Asia Pacific, Singapore cluster is there. Singapore and yeah, in India also we have. I used to handle this cluster. But cluster means you know, right? What is cluster? You know, right? So after a few years, after one and a half year, okay. So management identified is handling properly the cluster without any escalations, and they hand over one more cluster. Slowly they hand over one more cluster, which is Euro cluster. Okay, in Europe we have, in Frankfurt and Munich we have some clusters, we have some environment we have. Okay, so yeah, after 1.5 years they give Euro cluster also, right? So after that again I'm managing this cluster, both the clusters I'm managing. Okay, after that again they give one more cluster, which is America's cluster. North America we have clusters, they assigned one more cluster. USC cluster. Okay. So yeah, these are the clusters they assign to me. So why they assign clusters? Because so one person or one developer or one DevOps engineer or one tester, so while working on the activities, if they are able to perform proper way, we'll get different roles. We can get different role bindings. Okay. So whenever they assign US cluster, okay, so by the time I talk to the management, so I can't handle all the cluster, but I require some team members to handle that. I can delegate the work to the team so that I can handle whatever clusters we have. So that our VP, they gave some resources, then some team members to me. I have some reports currently. So what I will do, I delegate some work to the team. I just monitor all the clusters. If any major escalations are there, I will involve into that. Otherwise, I delegate to the team. Team will handle these clusters. Okay. So currently, I am handling all the regions in our project. So Kubernetes clusters. Okay. Yeah, cluster role binding means like this. Clusters will be binded to the resources. Okay. So who can handle these clusters so that clusters will be assigned to the team members. Any questions here, anyone?
Sir, at the option is the cluster Kubernetes is the must install.
Yeah, if you switch to Kubernetes, you have to handle Kubernetes cluster. Kubernetes is not mandatory, but in your project, for example, when you switch to your project, in your project Kubernetes is there. Okay, in that you need to handle clusters, Kubernetes clusters. We configure one cluster, right, in our test lab.
Yes,
One master server, 2 node servers. The same way we'll have use clusters, like use environments will be there. This cluster information will be available with you while performing activities. Okay, what are the pods available? What are the containers available? How many master servers available? How many nodes are available? Right, IP addresses, everything will be available with you. You can handle. So sometimes some escalations will be happen. If any pods are down, if any nodes are down, by the time auto healing not performing, for example, auto recreation is not happening due to some issue, by the time escalations will come, escalations will be happening. Okay, by the time we have to handle. Okay, so I delegate some work to our team members. So whenever escalations happen, they don't talk anything, they don't speak out, they will keep silent. So every time I'll explain to them, like, so whenever escalations happen, you know, right, issue, you can speak out, right? So when we talk with client or any other customers, we need to speak out. We need to give some justifications. We need to give some solution, right? So in Kubernetes, so we have to handle customers, clients. Okay, so we can manage these clusters. Sometimes escalations happen. By the time we have to act proactively. Otherwise, escalations will be happened so that you will get some email shoots. Okay, so we need to be very careful while working on Kubernetes. Most of the time, it will not give any issues. So it's very rarely you get some escalations. By the time we need to act proactively, otherwise, so major escalations will be happened. Okay, so our manager is there, senior manager, he doesn't know anything about cluster. Always he talk to me like, you can handle, you can manage. Okay, he doesn't know anything, only approvals, you know, how to approve leaves, how to approve time cards. Okay, that things. But as a architect, we have to handle as a senior architect or architect. So we are equal to manager, but we are technical persons. Okay, if you are, yeah, Kubernetes is very hot actually. Currently, market is very hard. On Kubernetes, we have very good packages also, right? So very good packages. Whatever you ask, they will give you. So one of my friends switched to HSBC recently, very recently. He got 40 lakhs package. Imagine 40 lakhs package. Even directors also, they don't get that much of package. Directors. So one of my directors there is having 30 lakhs package. Okay. Kubernetes, if you handle Kubernetes cluster, whatever you ask, they will give you. Okay. Yeah. In our previous company. Sorry.
Please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nothing. So if you're assigned to clusters, we need to monitor all the pods in that cluster.
Yeah. What are the pods available? What are the nodes available? Yeah. What are the containers available inside of the pods? We have to handle all these things. Okay.
So what is the rollback status?
Go ahead. Could not understand.
So what is rollback status? Rollback status. I've seen somewhere on Google yesterday or day before yesterday. Rollback status.
Rollback status means basically, so if anything you want to perform activity, okay, if you want to perform any activity, so for every activity rollback plan should be required. Every activity we require some rollback plan. Rollback plan means what is that? So
yeah, the rollback plan is fine. Rollback status. I mean, I've seen a command for rollback status. To check the rollback status, there was a command actually. So I didn't remember that exactly. So I've seen while searching for something actually rollback status command. Not rollback plans.
Okay. Not rollback plans. Rollback status you are asking, right?
Yes.
For example, roles, we have different roles, right? If you assign any role binding, okay, so you will get some logs. For that, you will get some logs, right? In that, you can check whatever the activities you bind it to the team members, okay? So here also, when you bind any roles, you will get some events. That event status you can check. So while working on troubleshooting, I'll show you that. Events, logs, and different things will get. While working on troubleshooting part, Monday or Tuesday we'll work on that. So by the time I'll show you. Every time, for example, when you face any issues, first we'll check logs and events, right? Even Windows also, if you face any issues, directly open event logs, event viewer, not event logs, event viewer, right? So in that, you will identify that, whatever issues are there. The same way, a role status or something you're saying, right? Events and logs will get normally. So I'll show you that while working on troubleshooting part. Okay. Fine. So now we can go ahead and work on this Kubernetes networking lab. Okay. We'll create networking lab, Kubernetes networking lab. So pod to pod network we cannot ping. Basically, pod to pod we cannot ping in test lab. Ping will not be happened from pod to pod. Okay. So here. Kubernetes networking theoretical part I already discussed, right? Kubernetes networking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in Kubernetes networking, so every pod will have one container or more than one container, right? So for example, this is our pod. So inside of the pods, we'll have containers. Inside of the pods, we'll have containers. Like this, we have containers. Okay. Container 1, container 2. right? So this is pod. Pod will have IP address. We know that, right? Pod will have IP address. Every pod will have IP address, but containers will work based on port numbers. 172.17.0.10, for example. This pod IP. Okay. So now we have two containers instead of the pod. In Docker, we'll have every pod will have every container will have IP in Docker. But whereas here in Kubernetes, no IPs for containers. Here we refer pod IP only. When you want to ping container, you will get pod IP. Okay. So how the communication will be established inside of the pod? So the containers, how they can communicate. Okay. In case of two containers are available instead of the pod, how we manage that containers. Okay, so we'll try to understand. So let us go and start our servers. Yeah. kubectl. First we need to switch to user, right? Sudo su space hyphen sudo su hyphen yeah, kubeadmin ls here permissions denied. Okay.
After yes,
Yeah, correct. Fine. So now I switch to user kubeadmin. We have deployments already, right? So now kubectl get nodes. First we can check nodes. So yeah, these are ready. Nodes are available. Now kubectl get pods. So these are the pods running state. Yeah. Now I want to check pod information, full information. Okay. So if you want to check full information of the pods, we can use the command like kubectl get pods -o wide. So this is the full information about pods, pod IPs. Okay. So details we can check like this. Whatever information is there here, we can check like this, right? Now, so we deploy, we use some manifest file here. Okay. So I'll share with you. I think last time Shilu asks some while working on this any manifestation. You asked me to share, right? I'll share in the group now. We require one manifest file here. So you can create one deployment here. Yeah, I'll share that. BusyBox. We use BusyBox file here. BusyBox manifest file. This one. Okay. Yeah, I'll share in the group. You can take this. Clear the screen. Fine. Now we can create one file here. Vi busybox.yml. Busybox.yml. So in this we can paste all the whatever manifestation we prepared here. So we are creating two containers instead of the pod. That is why we require this. Okay. Copy this manifest file. Paste here. API version. Okay. Yeah. Now the pod name is two containers. Pod name is two containers, and the container name is BusyBox1, BusyBox2. We are going to create two containers here, BusyBox1 and 2, right? Now here API version v1 kind pod. We are creating pod metadata name two containers is the pod name specifications containers. First container is BusyBox1, image is BusyBox, and command sleep 3600 is the port number, and container 2 BusyBox2, image BusyBox, and command sleep and port number is same. We are using this. Okay, you can copy this manifestation file and you can save this, save and quit. So now I want to create one deployment here. Okay, kubectl create -f is the shortcut actually, -f and deployment name, image name, busybox.yml. Now it is created. Pod is created. Two containers pod is created now, right? Now if you check the pods, kubectl get pods. See here, we have two containers pod is there. So inside of this, two containers created, 2 by 2. 2 by 2 means two containers. In the pod, we have two containers, right? Right. Next one is, if you want to check with details, kubectl get pods -o space wide. You check like this, you will get full information about this. This is the pod IP. This is the pod IP. This is node IP, and two containers are running state. Right. Next one is, now if you want to describe this pod, why we require describe? Why we describe this? If you want to describe means what are the things available with the pod. If you want to describe, you can describe. So clear the screen. Kubectl describe pod name. Pod name is 2 containers. So you can get all the details about your pod. See here. So this pod is having 2 containers here. This is a pod name. Go down here. Conditions. See here. BusyBox 1 is 1 container. See here. Containers. BusyBox 1 is there. Image name is BusyBox, right? Container ID, this one container ID. And it is in a running state. When we created this container, 23rd Friday, July 2021, this is the UTC time. So ready, true. Restart count is 0, not yet restarted anything. So BusyBox 2, we have image name and ID. So port number, whatever, sleep port number, whatever we give, it is showing line, right? So we can describe this container. We can check all the details about this containers. Events, these are the events. Event means type, event type, region, not region, region, age, how much time, when we created this, and from. Okay, see here message, successfully assigned default 2 containers and pulling image BusyBox, right? What is this image box? Some image and the image is, yeah, BusyBox అంటే ఒక నెట్వర్కింగ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఈవెన్ డాకర్ లో కూడా మనం వర్క్ చేస్తాం. We worked in Docker also, right? So BusyBox is a image for working on networking concept for test labs. Okay, it is a manifest image, sample image. Image is the layer, we know, right? Yeah, next one is, now I want to check, now I want to go to container. I want to go to inside of the containers. So currently we have 2 containers available right here, which are like container 1, BusyBox 1, BusyBox 2. So I want to go to one container first. I want to check one container. Okay, how can we go? We'll try to understand. I want to go to BusyBox 1. So command here is kubectl execute space hyphen IT and pod name 2 containers space hyphen C container name space BusyBox 1. So I want to go to container 1, BusyBox 1 space /bin/sh. We need to give this. Okay, now I want to switch to BusyBox 1 container. Enter. Now I am in BusyBox 1 container. Now if you check IP of the container, if you want to check IP of the container, okay, check here. Command is IP space A is the command to check the IP of the container. Enter. See here what IP it is showing. This is the, not this one. One 192.168.10.55. This is pod IP basically. I'll show you that. Link here. Okay, internal IP. This is the internal IP. See here. This is pod IP 192.168.10.155. This is not container IP. This is pod IP. Pod name is 2 containers. Namespace is default. Node IP is this one. This is node IP. Start time this one, and status running pod IP is this one. Okay, it is showing 192.168.10.155. When we try to get this IP from container, it is showing pod IP because it will work based on port number only, right? That is why it is showing pod IP only, right? Next one. We do one thing, ping google.com. Control check. It will not ping because pod to pod ping will not be happen. Okay. Next one is control PQ, control plus. Yeah. Now what I will do, I will go to second container also. Okay. First container is showing this IP. Second container also inside of the same pod. So second container also available in same pod, right? Now I switch to pod number, pod 2. What IP it will show you. So we'll try to understand what IP it will show. BusyBox 2, right? So kubectl execute IP -IT 2 containers BusyBox 2. Enter. Now I am in container 2. IP space A. What the IP it is showing?
Same IP. BusyBox 1.
Here also same IP. Here also same IP. Because our containers are available inside of this pod. 2 containers. 2 containers are showing same IP address, right? So it will take, container will take pod IP. It will work based on pod IP only. Okay, so it will connect from pod IP. So this is very, very important here. So while working on containers, we don't get any separate IP for container. So containers will not have any IPs in Kubernetes. In Docker, we'll have different IPs for Kubernetes. In Docker, we'll have different IPs for containers. But whereas Kubernetes, so we don't have any IPs for containers. Containers always will work based on port numbers, right? Yeah, pod to pod we cannot ping because pod to pod in enterprise layer editions we can ping. Only we created one pod only, right? Here, only one pod we created. So in this case, normally we can't ping from one pod to another pod. So we need to install some plugins. So that plugins will be available in real consoles. Okay, means in real-time licensing versions. Yeah, Sachin asking this question, right? Pod to pod communication will be there, but in test lab plugins we cannot install. So in enterprise editions, okay, so we can install plugins and we can communicate pod to pod. So container to container we can ping in Docker, but in Kubernetes directly we can't ping in test lab. So if you use Minikube will have some plugins. Minikube is only minimal configuration. In test labs we use Minikube, but this one, whatever you are using, Kubedium we use in enterprise level, production level, right? Yeah, in our training sessions I'm not using Minikube. Minikube is not a good one. We can install Minikube, but that is single node cluster. Okay, single node cluster. If you work on single node cluster, you don't understand the process. In single node cluster, only one node will be available. Master and node both are same in Minikube. Okay, you will have some confusions. That is why. So always we can prepare this setup for practice. Kubedium. Okay. Yeah. Next one, troubleshooting part will work on Monday. Troubleshooting will take minimum 40 minutes. Okay, how to troubleshoot the parts? If any part is corrupted, part is down, if any issues happened with the part, slowness issue, where we check that, how to check that? Okay, how can we log in into the manifestation in the part? So all these things will check on Monday, and Monday will have a namespace concept also that we can cover Monday. Mostly we'll try to complete Monday or else Tuesday. Okay, so we'll have I'll give you some tips and tricks also. I'll give you some blogs also. In the blogs you get real-time scenarios, real-time issues, how to handle in real time, how we get issues, what are the issues we'll get. Okay, how to identify that issues, all these things will get from the blogs. I'll share you blogs, very good blogs are there. In that we can understand blogs. While testing deployment, test page is displaying for node IPs for master. Test page is not displaying. Okay, you gave some mistake, you did some mistake, so you need to recreate it once again. You can recreate it once again and you can try that. Definitely it will work. Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
Sir,
go ahead.
actually మనం కొన్ని NGX parts క్రియేట్ చేసాము సార్. దాంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి మన కంటైనర్స్ ఎలా వెరిఫై చేస్తాం?
దాంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి కంటైనర్స్ ఎలా వెరిఫై చేస్తాం? ఓకే, యాక్చువల్లీ we required some manifestation file అండి. We required manifest file. Okay, so yeah, let me show you quickly if it is accessible or not. We'll check it. Let us go back to console here. Control PQ to quit from the container, right?
Yes, sir.
Session time on. Yeah, now if for example we have some part, this is the Nginx part. I want to go to this part, only one container is there here. I want to go to this part. Okay, command here is kubectl execute -it space part name. We can give one part name, any part name. Select this, give the part name space -c. Next, container name we need to give. Container name is Nginx. By default it will take Nginx one. Nginx space /bin/sh. Now I'm in container. See here, now I'm in container. If you check ls here, whatever bin files, lib files are available in the container, you can check this. Also, if you want to check the IP-A, it will show you odd IP. Not found. IP-A. Yes, I think this part is not having anything. I think not found. Is showing not found means something is there. I think it is not showing anything here. Okay. And also, if you want to deploy any application, you can deploy here. If you want to deploy any application, you can deploy here. Okay, in the container, right?
This container you can install package also, right?
Yeah, but we required plugins. Before that, first we need to install plugins. That plugins will work in enterprise edition. Now, if you ping here, ping will not work, right? Ping will not work.
Yes.
So that is why you can't install anything here. But in enterprise editions, it will allow you to install the plugins. Once you install the plugin, it will ping google.com. Also, you can update internal repository, and you can install Git, Java, Nginx, whatever packages you want to install, you can install. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Fine. You can practice this Kubernetes networking, and Monday we'll work on troubleshooting part, and also few concepts are there, namespaces, and also yeah, I'll show you some blogs also. In blogs we'll get the real-time scenarios. Okay, I'll show you on Monday. Mostly we'll try to complete Monday or Tuesday. Okay, fine. So we stop here for today. Thank you all.